Dog culture is like a child labor law violation. The diarrhea example. So, two things are increasing in our society: dog ownership and diarrhea in children, especially dog ownership up in tiny little apartments with little kids, but also pretty much everywhere parks, trails. So, diarrhea is the body's way of ridding itself of germs and other things. So, if you got some nasty stuff inside of you, like feces particles from being around a dog, you can easily get diarrhea. And diarrhea can lead to some pretty nasty things like seizures, brain damage, and other developmental problems. And it is a very serious illness. So here's a map. Notice India. What do we know about India? The KHEE Documentary illuminates a lot of this. It's a lot of stray dogs over there. There's a lot of dog feces that people are being exposed to, especially little kids, because they're right down there where the feces is, and they're right down there by the dogs. Now, in the USA, the death rate is a lot lower, but in the USA, we have lots of stuff that people constantly buy to prevent diarrhea. For example, Pedialyte is one of the things they tell you to give the baby or the toddler when they have diarrhea. And so this is one of the top selling items. We're on Amazon right now, but you can find this anywhere else. And this is also SNAP eligible, so food stamps. So this is also a tax on society. You are paying for everyone else's diarrhea, and part of the reason they get diarrhea is because they are exposing themselves to dog feces all the time. And this is also FSA or HSA eligible. Those are tax credit organizations, federal student aid, and housing. So again, taxpayer funded. The same thing with the Pepto-Bismol and other stuff for kids. These are top selling items. There's a huge market for them. You can easily look all this stuff up. And they also are federal housing aid and other student loan. If you have federal money, you can spend it on these, and it will be a tax break, or it will be directly paid for by whatever type of aid that you're signed up for. So it's a taxpayer funded thing, and the kids are the ones that suffer. This is why I'm connecting this to the child labor laws. The kids that are suffering, they are the ones that are enriching all the people that sell all of these things. All of the doctor visits, all of the Pedialyte, everything else, they're using kids to help raise taxes through all these programs, and they're using kids to sell all these products. And all they have to do is expose the kids to more feces, and boom, sales go up. You're exposing kids to feces, which is a nasty, nasty product. You wouldn't put a kid in the chemical factory, or working installing tires on cars or doing automotive stuff where they get oil and grease on them, but you'll expose them to feces so that you can sell all this stuff. One of the things they blame for all this diarrhea is the norovirus. Well, the norovirus can also be shed and transmitted by dogs. There are quite a few newer studies that show the dogs can become infected with the virus and then shed it. So the virus goes in them and basically gets to flourish inside the dog, and then the norovirus will leave the dog's body and can infect other dogs and other humans. If you do some good keyword searches, you can see that if I highlight this one talks about dogs that got humans sick in the house. So this is a serious issue. This isn't just like, oh, I just got a little bit of the poops, and then no, we're getting this more and more, and the dogs are propagating the virus and transmitting it to our little kids. So now, last but not certainly least, we have this publication. It's called Exposure to Animal Feces and Human Health. So we'll do a keyword search for diarrhea. So a big thing is diarrhea. You get exposure to feces and you get diarrhea. And what feces, what animal do we have everywhere? Dogs. So keyword search the study for children. This affects children way more than it affects other people. I mean, think about it. Children are right down there, right close to the freaking excrement squirter that's on the back of these dogs. Right by the face of these dogs, constantly getting puppy kisses from a mouth that was also kissing other dogs on the rear end. So yeah, children are getting exposed to this way more. And this isn't a joke. Look at this. You may experience long-term growth shortfalls after exposure to these pathogens, and pregnant women and immunocompromised may also experience these. So if you're pregnant and you consume these particles and other things from the feces, you can get all this stuff to your kid. Cryptosporidium, all types of pathogens in this feces. And yeah, we have here in America all kinds of solutions and stuff you can take. And if you read the articles where the dogs get the humans sick, what do they say? Well, luckily, there's ways to prevent this. But the ways to prevent it is to go spend a bunch of money on pharmaceutical stuff, on a bunch of preventative stuff. And so the children that are suffering all of this nasty stuff, they're like child labor. They're being exposed to all these nasty things, feces particles, cryptosporidium, everything else. All for the sake of selling drugs, selling doctor visits. Keyword search the study for dogs. So dog feces is one of the higher percentages in the study. And yeah, some there's other animals in here, but we don't have children living inside of apartments and houses with several of these animals. These animals are the ones that are pooping and peeing on people's carpets, up on people's beds, and other things. Like, this is what people do all the time. Here is a channel where they put the husky in the bed with a little kid. The husky knocks the little baby over too. And they've done this before. They let a dog make a baby cry, and they make a whole video out of it. And somehow the dog is some kind of angel. But this dog has feces particles on its paws, in its mouth, on the back of it, in its fur, and those should not be anywhere near this baby. This baby is going to need more Pedialyte, more special care, more allergy meds, because you're exposing it to feces particles. And yeah, these YouTube videos, these are like production value videos. They're cleaning and polishing everything before they do these videos. But people at home, they're just throwing these dogs in the beds with babies. In the modern politics, they talk about stuff like children working at Quiznos or some other pizza or sandwich shop too many hours. But look at all of this stuff that we're exposing kids to by putting feces particles in their small apartments. Rotavirus, hepatitis, adenovirus, giardia, all of these viruses and bacteria and sicknesses. So no wonder children have diarrhea more often. This stuff is going in their body, getting into their gastrointestinal system, and the gastrointestinal system is saying, hell no, I want this out of here. So that has been a look at how children are being used to push medical products and other interventions by exposing them to nasty dog poop. And here's a child labor picture from 100 years ago or so. And I don't know. I think having the job of delivering a newspaper would be fine if there's not any dogs to bite you. Maybe get some good shoes, though. So what do you guys think? Do you think we should be using using kids to help promote all of these interventions?